Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Abigail and today I am filming my 32-week bump date. I cannot believe that I am 32 weeks. Technically, I am doing this one day early, so I'm technically 31 weeks and 6 days. So tomorrow I will be exactly 32 weeks, but I will not have time to film my 32-week bump date any other day, so I am doing it today. I have so much to talk about, so I'm just going to start diving right in. So baby girl is about 16 inches long roughly, and roughly about 4 pounds at this point, but I think she's going to be a little bit on the smaller end, but I am not 100% sure. I've gotten a lot of comments saying that I look small. So, I mean, I tend to think that she'll be a smaller baby anyways, just because I'm a small person and Dan is also a small person. So, likely our baby will also be small. I've had a ton of symptoms lately, starting with lots and lots of movement in my belly. She is moving like crazy. I, at one point, think she started turning because I could feel her sideways. I was feeling feet or something on this side here. And right now, I'm feeling her mostly either like up here or down here. So I'm not sure if she is working on turning or what's going on, but I am feeling so much movement almost all day long. A new symptom I've been having is acid reflux, and I have been having it quite a bit, mostly at night, but very frequently after I eat, I start having acid reflux. And from what I've been told, that means that our baby is going to have a full head of hair. So we will see if that old wives' tale is true when she's born. My gums in my mouth have been a little bit more sensitive than usual, but I've always had very sensitive gums, so it wasn't really out of the ordinary. I wasn't sure if I would even bring this up, but they seem to be a little bit more sensitive than usual, but not by much. I've been having a lot of leg cramps lately, especially at night. I've had Charlie horses, probably if I don't drink enough water. I ended up with a Charlie horse in each of my legs one night, and I think I just chalked it up to not having enough water that day. But I wake up every morning, or almost every morning, and my legs hurt so bad. And working as well, when I have a shift on my feet all day, my legs hurt so badly. I've had a little bit of an itchy belly. It hasn't been crazy itchy, but occasionally my belly will itch a little bit. I've been very out of breath because she's still very high up, so she's been up in my rib cage and squishing my lungs, so I just feel very out of breath all the time. I've been having a hard time sleeping some nights. Like I said, there's the leg cramping that happens. I will have some back pain, some shoulder pain. I have to turn from side to side almost all night long. And then I start to get hot and I start to sweat. So then I have to take the blankets off. And then I get cold, so then I need to bring the blankets back on, and then I need to get up and go to the bathroom once or twice a night, so it has been very difficult to sleep. One thing I've had less of lately, I have not had many Braxton Hicks contractions at all. Like, I've noticed within the past, couple of weeks, I haven't had any at all, and I think the last time I had some was, I had two one night pretty close together when I went to go see my sister in a theater production. During Act 1, I had two Braxton Hicks contractions, which is good that they didn't continue because I know a sign of preterm labor is if you have 4 or more Braxton Hicks contractions in an hour. It can be a sign of preterm labor. So I'm not ready for her to come out yet, so we want her to stay in there. A new symptom I've been having, my breasts have started leaking a little bit. Not a whole heck of a lot, just like maybe a couple spots or two, and it's not all the time. So I have worn some breast pads when I'm like going to work or something just in case, but I really haven't had any huge issues with leaking breasts. They've just leaked a little tiny bit. I've also been progressively getting more absent-minded. I forget things all the time. I make stupid, silly mistakes. I put my pants on backwards one day and it took me a couple hours to figure that out. I am also pretty eager for the pregnancy to be over. I'm getting tired of being pregnant, but I also know that I am absolutely not ready for it to end yet because I am not ready to be a parent yet because we still have another couple of months to go before I want her to come out. And we have to get a lot of things ready first, which I will let you know at the end of this video. There is another big life change happening, so I will talk about that later. But before we get into that, I want to talk about my doctor's appointments. The last time we talked, I was talking about having my 1-hour glucose test as well as my 28 prenatal. As far as the drink goes, it really was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It tasted like a very faint limeade. Like the lime was not super limey. It was like very, very faint. But the thing that bothered me the most was having the sugar sit in your stomach. About like 20 to 25 minutes into it, I could just feel it sitting in my stomach and it made me feel very sick. But you don't want to throw it up because then you have to redo the whole test. So I was just trying really hard to make sure that it stayed down. That was really the only hard part about that test. It really wasn't too bad. However, I did fail that 1-hour glucose test. My levels were elevated, so they had to schedule me for a 3-hour glucose test, which I did about a week later. But after my 1-hour glucose test, I had my 28-week appointment. At that appointment, I got my Tdap vaccine as well as my RhoGAM shot. I had to have the RhoGAM shot because I am Rh negative, and it was just a precaution just in case baby happened to be Rh positive and I wouldn't develop antibodies to attack the baby. But I don't think it will be an issue ever because Dan is also Rh negative. But the doctor was like, why don't you just do it just in case? She's seen some weird things happen. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll just do it just in case. I've also brought up that I've been a little concerned about my weight gain because at that appointment, I have only gained a total of 10 pounds this whole pregnancy as of 28 weeks. Right now I'm 32, so I could have gained more, but as of 28 weeks, I had only gained 10 pounds. But they still don't seem to be too concerned about that. I figure if it's going to be a concern, they would let me know and tell me what I need to be doing differently. So, like I said, a week later, I had to take the 3-hour glucose test. So I had to drink that drink again, but this time I had to fast before. They had to take my fasting levels before I took the drink. So they had to take blood beforehand, then I would take the drink, and then they set a timer for an hour for me to have my first blood drawn. And then I would just wait in the waiting room until my timer went off, and then I would go and get my blood drawn. And that continued every hour for 3 hours. I did bring some stuff to do. like on my computer. I was like working on YouTube videos, and again, that first hour was probably the hardest because of the sugar sitting in my stomach, but it went by a lot faster than I thought. It really was not too bad. And then later that day, I found that all of my levels were completely normal. They were all in normal range. So I do not have gestational diabetes. So I'm not really sure why that first test was so elevated. And that's a question that I'm going to ask at my next appointment. I have my 32-week appointment on Monday. So I'm gonna just kind of ask about that and ask if maybe if I get pregnant again, maybe just not doing that 1 hour test and just doing the 3 hour test just to not have to do it twice. I don't know. But I don't know. It just seems weird that the 1 hour test would be so elevated and then the 3 hour one was not at all. Now, some other fun things that have happened. I have so far taken one childbirth class. It honestly was not that exciting. It was actually pretty boring, but I did learn a few things about it, like what to look for in case of preterm labor. This first class was basically just an introduction to childbirth. There are 2 more classes after that. It's a 3-week course. So we'll be learning more about relaxation techniques as well as medication options. I also had my baby shower this past weekend. I am honestly just glad that it is done, but it went really well, and baby girl has so much stuff now. I think we pretty much have everything we need, minus a few things, but as far as stuff goes, we are pretty well prepared for her. We also revealed her name at the baby shower, and I had also posted a name reveal video showing Dan painting my belly with her name on it. So her name is Holly. I am not going to reveal more information other than her first name, just to keep her privacy. I'm not going to reveal her middle name or obviously last name, just to keep her privacy. But her first name is Holly, and I am really, really excited. It was just a name that we both liked, and we figured it was also going to be close to Christmas when she's born, so I just thought that would be a cute name for her. And also, Holly is just a cute name for a baby, as well as a name that she can grow up with. I know adults named Holly. So I feel like it's a name that you can see as a baby as well as an adult. And then finally, we have some big news. We are finally moving out of my in-laws' house. We have been here for 4 months or so. If you are not caught up at all, this is what happened. So we were living in a trailer. We were renting one. And in June, our landlord told us that she would be selling the property. So we had to leave. So we put most of our stuff in storage and just moved in with my in-laws that were about 45 minutes away from where we were living, just as a temporary solution. We knew that we weren't going to stay here long term, but we really didn't know what that was going to look like. So that ended up being about 4 months of us living here. I don't think I want to go into all of the details of this now, but we ended up purchasing a brand new trailer, and we are having it put in a trailer park. And as of right now, it is all paid for, and it has been delivered. And I will say that while getting the finances for it was a huge challenge, it was also something that just kind of fell into our laps as well. Like I said, it's a very long story about how all of this went down, but it was definitely something that we had been working on for months. I think since July, we had started this whole process of trying to purchase a trailer. Like I said, right now, it has been delivered to the site. We are waiting on it to be set with all the utilities, and then we are doing a walkthrough, and then we'll be ready to move in. And that'll be super exciting. I'm hoping to be able to film an empty trailer tour to show you before we move in. So if I do that, that'll be the next video after this one. Now, I guess the last thing to do is to show you my 32-week belly. So I will just kind of get up on my knees for this. And I know I'm wearing a very baggy shirt, but this is my 32-week belly with clothes on, and then with the pants down. My belly button is barely hanging on. I'm sure it will pop soon. But I feel like I'm getting really big, but a lot of people have commented that I look very small for being 32 weeks. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like and be sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any new videos from me. You can also follow me on all of my social media. All of my links are listed down below, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!